Hello everyone and welcome back. And I'm going to be doing an overview of all of the Scottish emergency vehicles I have in my collection except for the Oxford die-cast Scottish aerial rescue pump fire and rescue truck. That got damaged a while ago, sadly, and can't show it. But I'm going to do an overview of the vehicles that I do have in front of me right here. So a few of them are from different makers. The one on the far left is a police car. That's from Corgi. The one in the box you can't see is from Richmond Toys. It's a fire engine. And then the ones that you see on the stands in the front there, the two red ones and white ones are from Oxford Diecast, and then the two big ones are from Fire Brigade models. And then behind them, there's two ambulances, another fire engine, and another Scania aerial rescue pump fire engine. So I'm going to take an overall view look of all of these. So I'm going to jump right on into it. So as you can see, I've got quite a variety right here in front of me. And these are all pretty cool. So I'm going to go take an overall view look at each one. So the first one that I really want to take a look at is, I'm going to have, probably not going to have a whole lot of room. This one right here, it is a Corgi Rover 800. This one is a Strathclyde police car. And this is the only Scottish police vehicle that I have in my collection. It's a pretty nice one. If you haven't seen this in some of my other previous videos, be sure to go check those out. This one's been featured quite a few times. This is actually a pretty unique looking police car. And I'm going to take a bit of a close-up look. I know that some of the other vehicles are showing in the background. This is a pretty cool one. I really like the look of this one. It's pretty nice. Definitely different from a lot of the other ones that I have. And then there's more of a clear shot on top. It does have working features on it. I can only leave the hood open, but the trunk doesn't stay open very long, but that's pretty cool. The doors on the front, I believe do open, but due to the tape that's around it, I'm not going to take that off. So I'm just going to leave it like it is. But this is the only Scottish police vehicle I have in my collection. It's a pretty nice one right there. So it's a pretty interesting car. It's a Rover 800. Going on with the next one that I had. This one's an Oxford diecast model, and I believe it's a CP28, and it's a pump ladder from Strathclyde Fire and Rescue Service. Pretty interesting model. This one's also been featured in a few of my other videos. It's a pretty cool one. Very unique look to it. Really nicely detailed. Got the ladders and everything. And then from the side, it's got, I really like the checkered pattern color it has on it. It's pretty nice. It's also got the crest right there in between the two doors. That's pretty cool. So it's a pretty nice looking fire engine. And it's got a pretty nice look to it. So it's a pretty cool fire truck. It's a nice one. So if you haven't seen this in some of my other videos, I've definitely featured it quite a few times. It's a pretty nice model. Then I have another Oxford diecast Strathclyde fire engine right here. This one's an aerial rescue pump. As you can see, it's also kind of similar to the fire engine with the checkered pattern colors and the crest on the door. It's a three-wheel vehicle, so it's different. Got the clear light bar on top. It also says Scania too. Got the mirrors on it. It's also got some ladders, and that's pretty nice. So it's a pretty cool looking fire engine. It's a pretty nice looking truck. So that's another interesting one that's also been in some of my other videos. And then I do have another Strathclyde fire engine right here. This one is from Fire Brigade Models. Move some of those out of the way real quick. This one's a lot bigger. This one's a 1/50th scale emergency vehicle, so it's a pretty big one. Unlike the Oxford fire engines, those are 1/76, but this is a pretty nice one. A lot bigger. Got some of the same features the other one does. Kind of similar to the Oxford fire engines. Got the ladders on top. Got the blue light bar. And then the two mirrors on the side. It's also Scania as well. So this is a pretty interesting one too. It's pretty nice for a big 1/50th scale model emergency vehicles. And also, if you haven't checked out the video that I did on the Strathclyde emergency vehicles, that's an interesting one to check out. So I'd highly recommend going and watching that video. It's got a lot of detail to it on the Strathclyde emergency vehicles. The next one, this one was actually a new one that I just got this past week, a few days ago. This one's from Grampian. It's also from Scotland. And another 1/50th scale model. And got pretty much some of the same features that the other one does. Blue light bar. Did not put on the windshield wipers or mirrors on this one. Came with that option, but I chose not to. Got a horn on top right there on the far left side by the blue light bar. It says 961 in the window. It's also Scania. It's also got the lockers on the side of it with their equipment. And then also on top it's got the ladder, so that's a pretty cool feature on that one. So it's pretty nice. And then this is another Oxford fire engine. It's also from Grampian. I'm going to zoom in on this one a bit. It says fire and rescue, preventing, protecting, and responding. Somewhat similar to the Fire Brigade Models fire engine, but it says fire and rescue service. And on the Fire Brigade Models one, it doesn't say what it says on the doors. Preventing, protecting, and serving. It does have the crest, but there's a little mirror, or window I should say, right there in the middle, and the crest is below it. Kind of similar to the Strathclyde one from Oxford. This one says 962 in the window. Got the blue light bar in the mirrors. Same thing, lockers on the other side, and then you got the ladders on top, which that's pretty cool. This one's another 1/76 scale model from Oxford, so that's pretty cool. I do have another Scania aerial rescue pump fire engine, and here it is. This one is from Atlas Editions, and it's a pretty nice one. It's another Scania fire engine. This one's from Fife, and not too much detailing to it. It's got the lockers, got some ladders, and looks like the real life version of the Scania aerial rescue pump. Turning it around from the side, you've got the clear light bar on top with the mirrors. It says Scania in front. That's pretty cool. And it also has the legs do work on the sides right there. As you can see, there's one that's kind of coming out a little bit. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit right there for more of a clear shot. But there you go. It's also got the crest on the door at the front, so that's also pretty cool. And I like how it says Scania aerial rescue pump on the stand. That's pretty cool. Gives you more of identifies the vehicle more, so it's pretty cool. But this is also a pretty nice one. That's a nice one. So that's one of the 3 Scottish fire engines, Scania aerial rescue pumps that I have. Next one I have is the Oxford Diecast Scottish Ambulance Service, and this one is a Mercedes. Pretty nicely detailed too. As you can see, this is the driver's side. I like the checkered pattern it has on it. And then it says ambulance on the front of it and right above on the window, so that's pretty nice. It's also got the Mercedes symbol. This is one of 4 Mercedes ambulances from Oxford Diecast that I have in my collection, so it's pretty cool. It's also got the mirrors on it. This side is a little bit different. As you can see, there's it says NHS and then a door to get into the side of the ambulance right there along near the back. So that's pretty cool, and I really like the detailing. Emergency ambulance, and it's got the Scottish flag right towards the back. Scottish Ambulance Service. That's pretty cool, and I like the green and yellow pattern. That's pretty cool, and it's got some detailing. It says NHS on the side of the door right there, so that's a pretty cool feature to that one too. I really like that. Pretty nice looking. It does have the light bars on top. Hard to really tell on this one. As you can see right up there where it says ambulance, that's one of the light bars on top. And then taking a look at the back of the ambulance, pretty decorative, but there's a light bar right above the door, right along that whole back side. But this is pretty interesting. It's also got a door to get into the back. So that's pretty cool too. Really like that look on it. It's pretty nice. The next vehicle I have is another Oxford Scottish ambulance. This one is a Ford Transit Lawman Mountain Rescue search control vehicle. Pretty nice. Got the same checkered pattern color, and then right along the front in reverse it says Lawman Mountain Rescue Ambulance. So that's pretty cool. Also got that little symbol right up there for the ambulance. That's pretty nice. Zooming back out a little bit. It does have 2 light bars, one at the front and back, so that's pretty cool. It's also got the mirrors on the side. And then kind of similar to some of the other Oxford diecast vans that they've made like this, there's always a door on the side to get into the back. So that's pretty cool. But I like how on this one it's got a window on the side. That's pretty cool. And I like where it says Lawman Mountain Rescue. So that's pretty nice that it has that feature on it as well. And then taking a look from behind, it says Mountain Rescue, and it's got all this detailing on it. So that's a pretty nice feature that it has to it. So that's a pretty nice ambulance. And then this one is the one from Richmond Toys, and this is another fire engine. It's a limited edition, and I never took it out of the box. I just chose to leave it in, and that's how I'm going to leave it for this video. But I'll do my best to show you what it has. It basically has the lockers, the crest on the door, and then it's also got the ladders on top, and then 2 blue beacon lights and the horn or a little speaker right there in the middle. So that's pretty cool. It's a little bit different from some of the other fire engines that I have in my collection, but that's pretty cool. I think that's what makes it stand out, is it's pretty nice. So, but that's a pretty cool one. I'm just going to leave it as is, but that's a pretty nice model. And then the last one I'm going to show you comes from Del Prado, and this one is from, is it Dumfries and Galloway Fire and Rescue Service? It's hard to read that writing, it's so small. Oh, well, I tried. This one is a Major Rescue FL 614. Got pretty much some of the same features the other one does. It's got the lockers on it, and then not too much detailing on the top part of that. It's just silver. Looks like there's some type of a tool right there towards the back, or I'm not too sure what that is. That's different. The back of it, I like the yellow and I like the color pattern on the back of this one. It's pretty cool. Also, it's got the fragile mirrors on it and the blue light bar, and it says rescue on the front of it. And I believe this one's a Volvo, so that's a pretty cool fire engine. I've got a few other Volvo fire engines in my collection, but this one is a pretty different one from some of the other ones. So this is a pretty cool one too. And I like how it says 2000 Major Rescue FL614 UK. It's pretty cool. I really like this one because of how different it looks from some of the other ones, and it's pretty cool. So it's a pretty nice one, and it's the only one from Del Prado that I have right now. I'm still looking for, I believe they have one from Ireland, so I'm trying to find that one. But this one's a pretty cool one, and it goes well with my other Scottish emergency vehicles because of that, and it's very different, so it's pretty cool. So I would say overall for my collection of the Scottish emergency vehicles, they're all pretty cool. I like having a variety of the different emergency vehicles and how different they look from one another, and seeing how some of them are similar, or even like the two from or the few from Strathclyde that I have. That's pretty cool. So I think it's pretty interesting, this collection overall, because of all the different vehicles that I have. And they're all really nice looking cars and trucks. So that's why it's a pretty cool collection. And I would have to say overall, if you were to find any of these emergency vehicles, I would highly recommend getting them for your collection, especially if you like collecting emergency vehicles like I do. They're a pretty great investment to have, and it's a pretty nice one. It's a very nice looking collection. I never really took the time to stop and look at this, but I figured this would be a pretty cool video to do a review of, and I would highly recommend, if you find any of these emergency vehicles, you get them for your collection, as they will be great additions. So I would highly recommend keeping your eyes peeled, especially if you like collecting these emergency vehicles, from whether it's Corgi, Richmond Toys, Atlas Editions, Del Prado, or Oxford Diecast, or even Fire Brigade models. You get vehicles like these for your collection, as they are pretty great. I really like this one a lot because of the different varieties they have. So it's pretty cool. So I would give this collection a great big 10, just because of all the different vehicles I have and all the differences and similarities they have. So it's a pretty cool collection. So that'll be it for this review, and please stay tuned for the next one.